level. So, boys, let's just jump into this. Obviously, we're going to talk about PJ Walker and the turf, but it all starts with this. Baker Mayfield is going to be back in action for the Carolina Panthers. And a lot of us have a lot of mixed feelings about this because, not too many people were missing Baker. Maybe some were during PJ's absence. But really, we felt like we kind of hit our rhythm the best and the most with PJ Walker under center. Now he has the high ankle sprain. And, we had been theorizing maybe he wasn't talking to the media because he was upset about not getting that starting job given to him. Well, hey, man, time heals all wounds. And now he is back to the starting position. What is everyone's confidence level? To all my guys here on the panel and everyone in the chat room, how confident are we feeling going up against probably our stiffest test on the schedule with Baker Mayfield at quarterback?
Did he pass concussion protocol last week, guys, after smashing his head on every offensive lineman and guy that came in?
Makes you wonder.
Dude.
Well, that, and here's the thing that I like about Baker, and I'm not talking about his play, but from a personality standpoint, the dude's got rapport with his guys, right? I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the JC Horn mic'd up segment that Carolina Panthers put out there on the YouTube today. But Baker's just joking around with these guys. It seems like he's loose, and I don't know, man. Again, I'm not saying he's going to come out here and light it up, but it is good to see that he hasn't lost the confidence of his team or lost the rapport with these guys. That's one of the things I think is easy to kind of get to be the first to go, especially given the record he had in Cleveland with some of those guys out there. So I'm, like I said, I'm oddly confident, more confident than I would have been in PJ Walker coming out here and trying to go tit for tat with Lamar Jackson. So,
well, I think yes. Like you were saying, do we have a better chance with Baker? And I think that the thing is, you don't have a better chance with anybody right now. I think that Baker and PJ both have their merits and their high points and their low points, but in the end, you're going to get pretty much the same production. So I think either way it goes, it doesn't really matter. Okay, there's an injury. That's why PJ is not playing. But honestly, doesn't this feel kind of like a showcase for Baker to be able to, he's not going to be here next year. Let's let this guy go out there and do a little bit to maybe make $1 next year type deal. You don't think it's anything in that? Because we're going to lose a draft pick if he plays, I think it's 74% of the snaps. So not lose a draft pick, but it changes from a fifth to a fourth.
Yeah, makes it more valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's kind of interesting to me is I know Baker is gonna, you hope the pressure doesn't get to him in a certain way because, you're right. It is a showcase because he is not gonna likely be a Panther next year. On top of that, he's trying to find and keep a job in the NFL. And really, the Panthers haven't had much, kind of patience with it. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Did they have patience by then sticking with PJ and some certain things?
Well, do you think you'll see PJ again is the question. Do you think if PJ's ankle is healthy, PJ comes back? Even if Baker Mayfield comes out here and puts up the same kind of numbers, do you think PJ comes back to be the starter again? Or are we going to play this back and forth?
I don't know. It's going to be hard if Baker's playing pretty well. It would just, I don't know. It's was PJ playing that well to where he deserves
that's what I'm saying.
He
was playing okay. He wasn't playing fantastic.
But I do think that PJ brought a spark to the offense that Baker Mayfield hadn't.
I can agree with you with that, except if it wasn't for so many changes, if it wasn't for getting rid of Matt Rule, getting rid of Robbie Anderson, getting rid of CMC, there was a lot, changing the head coach.
Right.
There was a lot that happened from the time that Baker started with this team than when PJ picked up and really ran with this team. They were running on a different kind of fuel then. But I can see what you're saying. It's not totally unmerited, but I just feel like it doesn't hold as much weight because of all that.
I think the real story is probably not Baker Mayfield in our offense. How the hell are we going to stop Lamar Jackson? They're coming off a bye. The Andrews guy, I think, is going to be back and healthy. We struggle against tight ends. Lamar could run 400 yards against the Panthers.
He could. And
and that's the scary part. No Dante Jackson. Now they don't have anything that is necessarily scary at the receiver core, but at the same time, Lamar is enough by himself to beat this Panthers team. And I don't know if the Panthers look, I mean, you know what? Baker is going to have to put on a show if we want to keep up with these guys, I would think.
Sure.
Yeah. So, hey, if my microphone goes in and out, just tell me and I'll have to switch. But this is Baker Mayfield's numbers versus the Ravens. 58.42 completion percentage, over 2,200 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 10 sacks, 83.2 passer rating, 72 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and a 3-5 record against the Baltimore Ravens. So it does bear in mind that that Baker Mayfield does have a lot of experience against the Baltimore Ravens. And maybe that will help us out. I know they have a lot of new pieces on defense, the Ravens do. But, I mean, if anything is going for Baker, it's the level of experience that he will have against some of the teams that we're going to be left to play on the schedule, including the Steelers. So, I don't know, man. If he wants to rejuvenate his career at all, this is his opportunity to do so. Because as of right now, if you're Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield, what team is going to be knocking at your door?
Right.
Well, you know what I truly fear, though, out of this is what if just by chance Baker Mayfield comes out here and he just blows the doors, just crushes it, man, and we end up winning
5 touchdowns
and making the playoffs. What do you do then? What do you do in that situation?
You don't have to do anything. I mean, he's not obligated here. I mean, if he comes out and he just, the thing that's tough about it is he's got a track record of being he's had half the season where it's already been bad. If he comes out and has a really good final half of the season, I think that's one of those things we can be excited about it in that moment, but we can't fall for it again. Right? We can't sit there and re-sign him, and because basically what he's doing is he's solidifying what we've known him to be, which is inconsistent. So yeah, I don't think that there's any controversy there. I think either they're going to go with one of these guys in the draft, even if we're drafting later in the first round. I think there's plenty of QBs that are going to be there throughout the first round. And if not, we got Matt Corral in the background ready to try to take the helm of this team. And I think they're more than willing to give a guy a chance that is Matt Corral. Am I saying that I would do that if I have an opportunity to draft a guy? Probably not. But I am saying that I assume that this coaching staff and this organization wouldn't have a problem with that, as opposed to trying to sign a guy to a long-term deal.
Yeah. While Cody is gone, do you think if he twisted the mic a little bit, that would help to where the pointed like a?
Those are pretty good about directional.
It has to be something with my computer because I had. Dude, I was damn near blowing the thing. It can't be the distance.
We'll talk about it a little more, but I think
it sounded good when it was in.
I know, and it pisses me off too, man.
Yeah, I was telling Tony that I think it's your computer.
Okay, well, hey, we're trying. This is interesting to me as we're looking. Nobody is even in the chat has said, Tony, where the hell are you at?
No, you're wrong. People were saying they're loving the new background.
I'm hanging out here with DJ Moore right now. I got my kids. My kids are growing up. My girls are growing up. They share this room, and now the older they want their own room. So we had to move everything around, and now I'm in the kids' TV room now.
Oh, nice.
So this is now my office. So I'm still in my home. This is now the C3 studio, is what it is, and now it's really cool because. I'm going to totally claim it. Like nobody else. I'm not sharing it with anybody. Yeah, nobody except for y'all. Sharing it with these people. Guys, we want you to smash the thumbs up button and be a part of the show. You can call in at 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. Subscribe to the podcast. Check us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Daniel Wilcox, former Ravens tight end and Super Bowl champion, is going to join us. Let's just really revisit this real quickly about Baker's performance. Now, all this against the Ravens is divisional opponent, right? And, is that now, are these numbers, are these numbers truly reflective? Do they really tell us much? Because look, the Ravens have been pretty dominant in that division for the last 4 or 5 years in so many ways. Even before Lamar got there,
right?
They were kind of the toast. It was Pittsburgh and them toast of the town as Cincinnati and Cleveland struggled. Baker, in one respect, has had a lot of success against the Bengals, and everybody was touting that. And actually, you know what? He even had a little bit of success against them in Carolina. Is this Baltimore team what he's really faced in the past? And I gotta say is that I really think this Baltimore team's pretty dang good.
Right.
But their defense has been sort of wishy-washy. And I know that they went out and added, I think, maybe two important, maybe they added Roquan Smith. And I think that might have been it. The other guy, no, didn't they get a pass rusher too?
Yeah. Dude from the
Quinn. Didn't they get 2 players off the
No,
Bears?
Robert Quinn went to Philly.
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right. Robert Quinn. So I know they're trying to shore that up, and they've had some problems giving up some late leads. But really, the Panthers cannot go toe-to-toe in a shootout like maybe the Dolphins have or somebody like that. This, I think, is a really tough test for the Carolina Panthers. I'm not really feeling great about it. After this win against the Atlanta Falcons, and now that the Bucs are 5-5 in the division lead, is there a chance that we could keep up with any of these guys? Or is this going to be the nail in the coffin? We got Denver after them, and then the bye week. They're coming off a bye. That's another thing. They're going to be fresh.
They're and then I'll pass the mic to you, okay? The defense, they're not really stopping the run at a high clip. And right now, that's what the Panthers are doing better than anything, man. Deontay Foreman is just absolutely trucking fools, running for 130 whatever yards a game. Right now, if we continue to do what we've been doing well, I really don't think even the quarterback change should matter too much. One of the things that I've always said is that the Panthers are a run-first football team, and even the passes that you are going to ask them to make, you shouldn't be asking them to do it even 27 to 30 times a game. That's way too much. Run the football, do some play-action passes, move them out of the pocket a little bit, and just pick your opportunities to take the shot downfield. I really do think that the key to victory against the Baltimore Ravens is to just lean on them. Yeah. Use your run game, get heavy, push them around, and keep Lamar Jackson off the football field. Run some ball control offense, pick up first downs, and make it where Lamar Jackson doesn't even have the opportunity to affect this football game like we're afraid that he might.
Have we seen anything as far as like what is their history after, like with Lamar and these guys, like after a bye week? Because for the longest time, that was the Achilles heel of somebody like Ron Rivera and Cam Newton. What does that look like with these guys after a bye week? Do they tend to have a better outing, or what? Because
I know, like, what is Harbaugh off the bye? How do you even find that stat?
I don't know. They usually put that. They usually. The team usually puts that out. So like the Panthers would normally put that out before or after the bye week or something like that leading into a game. But I think the bye week can also be a really, it's an extra week of rest, sure. But it's also a lot of these people go on vacation and they're doing other things outside of the building. They're not really focused on football. So that extra week really isn't, it might be good mentally, but from a football standpoint, it's not necessarily giving them a leg up there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think
that 2017 hold on.
Well, you were talking about stats and honestly, I'll definitely try to find that stat, but just looking at these stats, we have a Baker Mayfield right now. And you were asking if looking at this, how we feel, like breaking that down on 8 games. it's a Baker Mayfield game. It's 277 yards, 1.6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1.25 sacks, 3-5 record, 10 rushing yards.
I would be
58%
more interested.
completion. That's a Baker Mayfield game.
What I'm more interested in is I want to look at his best and his worst games against those guys.
Yeah,
because
that's true telling.
I feel like you're going to get one of those 2 games out of him tomorrow, or on Sunday rather. And that I think the idea of bunching it all together is tough because he had a couple of really good years. He's had a couple of really bad years. Mm-hmm. And how many of those really good games has he had that were against Ravens? If he's never had a good game against the Ravens, then we should be more concerned. But it's a different team and it's a different Baker, and Baker hasn't looked even as good as he did before.
Totally. This is as of last year, so we just got to figure out what they did if they won last year after the bye, because this is an article them going into the bye last week. Did they win the week before? So they have a bad record going into the bye. Under Harbaugh, the Ravens have a 49-39 record before the bye week, and a combined 80-40 record to finish the season after the bye week. So that's not even the next game. That's just that they come out of the bye pretty strong, it seems like, and get a second win. They struggled before the bye week, it says. I don't know. So now we don't really get that that information. Also, we got a super chat in the house. FJ Pap, thank you for your contribution.
FJ Pap, he takes issue with me saying that the Baltimore Ravens are not good against the run. He says Baltimore is 3rd against the run in the NFL.
I don't think he's taking issue. I think he's just pointing out.
I'm looking it up right now, and that is not what NFL.com says at all. Okay. They're nowhere near the top 10. In fact, according to NFL.com, they're in the bottom. They're in the bottom half. Only the Saints, Seahawks, Steelers, Texans, Titans, and Vikings are worse.
Yeah.
So
it depends on what that is. Is that like overall? Is that touchdowns, red zone, yards allowed? Like
it just says rushing defenses.
Okay, so it's just an overall
right here.
Yeah.
Hold on. No, he's right. He's right. He's right. Rushing yards. He's right. It's 49ers are number 1 against the run, allowing 744 rushing yards total this season. Titans number 2, Ravens number 3 at 828.
That's yards allowed.
I was going to say
rushing yards
what does that
total.
tell you right there? That they are number 3 in yards allowed, as far as I'm assuming the least amount, and then the number like in the lower half of the defense is overall rushing, like that. Just I don't know. I guess it means that they give up a lot of.
Now look at this: is that teams average 4.3 yards a carry against them.
Maybe teams just don't run against them.
They have 9 touchdowns on the ground against them. I don't know. That's a good question. If we look let's check and see where they are at yards per carry. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not that far down.
Yeah.
Where are the Panthers at? Oh, we are way down there. Let's just put this in perspective. The Ravens have given up 828 yards on the ground. The Panthers have given up 1,392. No bueno. No bueno. See, and that's actually the problem, is that's problematic for us, is that we're just not good against the run, and Lamar is fantastic at everything. Now, at in the other case too, we have had, I guess, the one team that we've played that's had a mobile quarterback, or one that you want to keep in the pocket, was Kyler Murray, and we had some success against him this year. But I'm not really sure if they're anywhere, and if he's even in the conversation of being like Lamar Jackson.
Not this year, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I don't think he is. Lamar's like watching Michael Vick that year in Madden. You could just do anything with him. It's crazy to watch him run.
See if we can check out what they've done. I'm going to go look at this up. So let's look, we're going to be